On tonight's edition of Mississippi Magazine, we'll look at offshore oil in the Gulf of Mexico. Oil was first discovered in the Gulf of Mexico in the 1930s. Since then, more oil has been found off the coasts of Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. More money is being brought into the state of Mississippi from offshore drilling leases. We aren't going to become very rich, but we must decide how to spend the revenue from oil. We took our TV cameras into the streets to ask people their opinion. Our question was, if you were the governor of Mississippi, what would you do with the money?
Well, of course, I'm not the governor, but if I were, I'd spend the money on more hospitals and schools. We need more doctors, nurses, and teachers. We don't have enough good teachers. If salaries were higher, we could keep better teachers. And there aren't enough doctors and nurses either because the medical schools are too small. If they were bigger, we would have more doctors and nurses. Money that is spent now on education and health is an investment for the future.
I think the answer is simple. Taxes are too high in this country. I would reduce state taxes. If we reduced taxes, people would have more money. If they had more money, they'd spend more. Industry would have to produce more, so it would need more workers. There would be more jobs, and we would all be richer.
I'm very worried about the economy. There aren't enough jobs for everyone, and people with jobs aren't making enough money. If I were governor, I'd help low-income families pay their heating and electric bills. I'd encourage farmers to produce more food more cheaply. I'd bring more industry into the state. If we did that, everybody would benefit, wouldn't they? There's one thing that makes me happy. I'm glad the money stays in Mississippi. The federal government would spend it on more tanks and bombs.
There's too much crime and violence nowadays. There aren't enough police officers on the streets. I'd give cities money to increase the size of their police forces, and I'd raise their salaries. If we had more police officers, we'd all feel safer. And I'd increase the benefits for senior citizens. I've worked hard all my life, and I should have a reasonable standard of living.